KVOA-TV now. Time for weather with meteorologist Daniel McFarland. Daniel, I did want to go for a run today, but there's going to be some heavy winds out there, and I might have some power going in my face when I'm charging ahead, won't I?
Hey, might be a better workout though if you're out there with wind in your face.
I'm going to get twice the benefit, right? I got all that coming at me.
There's going to be some stronger winds though, Robbie, and it's going to be starting off as early as just a couple hours from now. We do have that wind advisory that's going to be in effect for just about all of southern Arizona, especially from Tucson over towards the edge of Arizona near New Mexico. So if you're in Cochise County or Santa Cruz County, it's all of you. If you're in Pima County, it's going to be around the Tucson area, really the eastern half. If you're closer towards Ajo and Sells, you are still going to have some stronger winds. I just don't think they're going to be nearly as strong as what you can expect in Tucson. So again, if you're right around that area, I'm really looking at winds that maybe gusts close to 25 miles per hour, but for Tucson, might be as high as 45, even stronger for some of those higher elevations. I'll show you that in just a second. But this is the reason why. It's because we have a front passing us by right now, and we also have high pressure very close to us. In fact, the distance in between this high pressure center and low pressure center, really only about 200 miles. Now, typically you have those closer to about 500 miles apart, but whenever you see them this close, that's when you have those stronger winds developing, and that's where we're going to have a strong east wind because of the rotation of both of those when they're nearby. Now, over the next few hours, you are likely to see those stronger winds begin to develop. And for those higher elevations, as I mentioned before, you might be having some stronger winds. So Oracle is one of the spots I'm tracking for today that is going to have some of those stronger wind gusts, maybe even as high as 60 at times. So the strongest wind gust I think is likely going to come out of a spot like Oracle or maybe Bisbee. This is going to be a snapshot of around 10 a.m. or so. I think the strongest winds are going to be here between about lunchtime and the middle of the afternoon. Tucson might be close to 30 miles per hour at that point, with our strongest wind gust potential being around the mid 40s, and that's really going to be calming down at some point during the evening as well. Now, closer towards 6 or 7 o'clock, that's going to be the time I think they begin to subside a bit, but still going to be more than average. So if you were planning on eating outdoors today, I'd go ahead and bring that in. Same thing with exercise, like Robbie was mentioning before. Go ahead and bring that inside if you can. And then by about 8 o'clock, that's when the advisory is set to expire, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's going to be an extension for some places. I don't think Tucson's going to have that. Our winds should be calming down quite a bit, but some spots like in Pinal County there with Oracle, maybe even portions of Cochise County, could see a slight extension. But let's go ahead and talk more about those temperatures out there. Midtown looking at 36, the airport still looking at 41. Chris over on the east side of town was able to give me the temperature at his house, 52. That is going to be a mistake. Your actual temperature on the east side closer towards the upper 30s, 38 is what it is right now at Chris's house when he shared that information with me. Foothills is looking at 35. Oro Valley at 38 as well. So pretty nice across the region. Very seasonable, I would say, for Tucson. Now, one spot that's a bit warmer than average is going to be you over in Cochise County. A lot of mid 30s out there. Typically, you're down below the freezing point at this time. Tombstone, though, at the moment is the only spot that's sitting at 31 degrees. You also have Pierce there at 32, which is close. But again, those are spots that are used to seeing the upper 20s for this time of year. All right, so for this afternoon, mid 60s for a lot of us around Tucson today. And again, most of us are going to notice those winds more than the temperatures. With temperatures like this, typically it's really more of an afterthought. But for this evening, if you're trying to get outside, it's going to be getting down to the 50s rather quickly, maybe even the upper 40s. It's going to be very dry outside, so that's going to allow our temperature to drop a little bit quicker, with only a few spots having potential to get down to the freezing point. All right, so for overnight tonight, if you're in Cochise County, this is really where those cold temperatures are going to be coming back. Wilcox looking at 25, Benson 25, Tombstone 27, and your highs, even with those stronger winds, only expected to stop in the upper 50s. I just want to quickly talk about the rain, just because there's going to be a few of us with a chance in the middle of next week. Tucson is not going to be one of those areas, but if you're up in eastern Pinal County or over near Safford, you might actually have a small chance of rain for next Tuesday or Wednesday. But for Tucson, we're going to be staying dry over the next week. Plenty of sunshine, though, out there. So if you have been enjoying the sunshine and want to get outside at any point for this weekend or in the middle of next week, it's going to be great. We're going to be having temperatures slowly rising over the next couple days and really stabilizing somewhere in the upper 60s as we get into early next week. Then we're going to have another front passing us by, which is going to cause those rain chances from Tuesday into Wednesday. And look at this, Tucson's temperatures dropping back down to the upper 50s for a couple days after that, and lows maybe even close to the freezing point as we get into late Wednesday night.
Thank you, Daniel.